So I'm willing to bet most of you have dealt with some sort of scratching or scuffing on your frame from not only just riding it, but also bike packing bags. And if you are in that camp where you really like to showcase those scuffs, those scratch marks, and just that wear and tear on your frame, well, this video just might not be for you. But if you're anything like me and you really like to maintain that integrity and make sure that you don't have those marks, then this video is just for you. Today I'm going to talk about the protection kit from Ride Wrap, and this is a very unique product in that it is custom built for this frame right here. So in this video we're going to talk about what's in this box, how to install what's in this box, as well as how it holds up over a full year of riding. So you probably have seen this bike in a few of my other videos, and you know that, well, it's pretty well used. I've been using it for over a year now, and it has at least 5,000 miles on it. But the cool thing about this Ride Wrap kit is not only is it going to help protect the frame from any further damage, but Ride Wrap claims that it's going to restore that factory shine as well as hide any of the scratches on the bike. So in this experiment, we're gonna find out if those things are true or not. So inside the Ride Wrap protection kit is you've got these really awesome instructions, and they're numbered so that you can actually figure out what to install and when to install it. We have a giant roll of the protection tape, which is numbered so that you can easily correspond the numbers to the instruction sheet. And then finally, we have the installation tools. 2 cleaning wipes, 1 installation solution concentrate, 1 squeegee, 1 microfiber cloth, and a sticker sheet. So the only thing that this kit doesn't come with is obviously the bike, some water, and a spray bottle. And the spray bottle is for the solution that you spray on not only the pieces of tape, but also your frame. So it's really easy. It's 1 liter of water for 4 drops of the install solution. So a very crucial step, especially if you are applying the Ride Wrap to an already used frame, especially a well-used frame like this, is to clean it and to clean it thoroughly. I took this opportunity to kind of strip the bike and actually do a nice thorough cleaning of it, which not only will make it easier for me to keep the dust and dirt off the frame, but also install the tape. So I cleaned this last night. I probably have a little bit of dust on it. So it does come with some pre-installed cleaning wipes. So just what I'm gonna do right before I install the tape on the fork is basically just give it a nice little one over. And basically these are just like rubbing alcohol wipes. So a few things to note that you're gonna wanna remove from your frame are the boss bolts, or I have these just little plugs that go into my fork here. Anything that might get in the way, obviously, of installing the tape, and any removable protection or guards that are on the frame that you can remove or that didn't actually come with the frame. So starting with the number 1 position on this bike, it was the fork. So I started installing it on the fork blade number 1 and number 2. And I'm not actually squeegeeing it yet. I want to place everything on the fork before I actually make sure that it's where I want it, because this whole system is set up to have 3mm gaps between each piece of tape. So right now I'm on number 3, which is right here. So what you're going to want to do is take your solution, spray all of the tape, front and back, and obviously spray your fork and get a really nice coating on there. And if you do have brake pads that are susceptible, you can either remove them or just cover them up. Just make sure that the brake pads don't get this solvent in it. Although I do think it is just soap, but I really don't think it's going to hurt the pads. So once you place it, just keep in mind that you are looking for that 3mm gap. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's as perfect as you want to make it, to be honest. And then 4 right here is the back. And basically you just do this for a really long time. It is a process, but it could also protect your frame, so it's worth it. And when you're set on the position, you're gonna take the squeegee and start from the middle of the tape job and go in one direction down and then one direction up. And basically kind of just work the tape in that way. What we're doing is not only removing the solution, but also removing any air in between. And if you're having any trouble with this, reference the video below from Ride Wrap. They have a really great video on how to install, especially if you're running into any issues. So I'm cruising right along. I'm on number 16, and number 16 is actually inaccurate. So the adhesive is on this side, and when I fit the adhesive part on the frame, it basically doesn't really fit. But then I flipped it and I was like, oh, okay, so that works. But unfortunately, obviously the adhesive is on the wrong side. Not the biggest deal. I'm just going to do a little trimming right here to make it work. All right, so I just finished up. It probably took me somewhere around 2 hours. It definitely took a while, and I suggest dedicating a few hours at least to put the tape on. And personally, I probably would hire someone like a bike shop to do this for me. That being said, it's all dialed in. There are two finishes. You've got a gloss finish and a matte finish. This is the matte finish, which looks really good on top of my gloss colorway from Salsa. So what I'm going to do now is put the bike back together, ride it for a handful of months, and I'll get back to you on how the tape, how the ride wrap protection fared. Wow, so it's been a year. Time flies when you're having fun, right? So before I jump into my thoughts on how the tape performed over the past year, I just wanted to let everybody know that this video is supported in part by Terraval tires. Like many cycling brands, there's a passionate group of cyclists behind Terraval. Their tires are designed and inspired by the routes and terrain they've ridden. And that's why you may have noticed Terraval's tire model names after some regions with distinct terrain or even specific trails. So to learn more about Terraval's line of tires and their tire construction, you can visit the link in the description below, or you can click on this card right here. So it's been basically a year on the button, and between bike packing trips, sloppy fall and spring conditions, and countless day rides, this tape has seen a lot of abuse. So first off, I've really come to like this matte finish. It does a really good job of obviously hiding any of the imperfections that were already on the frame prior to installing the tape, but it kind of gave the bike a new, fresh look, which I definitely appreciate. So Ride Wrap does claim that the tape actually does a better job versus the frame of repelling any dust and grime. And while I didn't really notice that, I did notice that it cleans up really nicely. However, it does take some effort to kind of clean up the seams or the edge of the tape where the grit and grime kind of gets stuck. But you can get most, if not all of that grit and grime off the edge of the tape. Another thing I've noticed is that all of the tape has stayed put. Not one bit is peeling off any area of the frame, which is something that I'm extremely impressed about. I guess one odd thing is because of that 3mm gap that they account for, there are areas that are a little bit more susceptible to wear, like underneath the top tube or on the down tube here, where the frame bag can rub up against the frame. The tape is thick enough to also absorb any dings or dents, and there are a few noticeable dings or dents where this has happened, and the tape has taken the hit and not the frame. So it is definitely doing its part there. So after removing the frame bag, I did notice that the frame did put some imperfections on the tape. So the tape is indeed doing its job. However, like I mentioned, there is some gaps in the tape. So it is also kind of rubbing into those 3mm gaps on the frame itself. So is the Ride Wrap protection kit worth it? Like I mentioned a year ago, it depends on who you are. I like it because it not only did a great job of kind of resurrecting my frame, but it also does a fantastic job of protecting it, especially from the rigors of bike packing. And because it is a complete custom fit, it is nearly going to cover all of the frame, at least in this case, 95% of the frame with the tailored fit. But you do need to think ahead here. So if you are going on a trip, you're going to A, have to order the tape, and B, obviously make the time to install the tape. Maybe one of the cool things about Ride Wrap is they have a variety of different templates for popular bikes or maybe not so popular bikes. They had the template for the 56cm Cutthroat. It took a few days to process the order, and it was at my door probably within a week after ordering it, which is really awesome. As I mentioned, the tailored fit kit does cover 95% of the frame, but it does come at a steep cost of $180 USD. But you can get the covered kit or the essential kit. The covered kit is $65 USD and the essential kit is $35 USD for more simple protection of your frame. However, the tailored fit does a better job than those other two fits of protecting your frame from a frame bag or bike packing bags in general. So I can tell you one thing, I'm definitely not planning on taking the tape off anytime soon. It looks good and it's protecting my bike, so I definitely appreciate that. So if you have any comments or questions regarding the Ride Wrap Protection Kit, leave them in the comment section below. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, pedal further.